Welcome back to This Week in Magic Online Finance. Let's get started with the news. And this week, I've got some really good news for you, which is that Hour of Devastation is out on Magic Online right now. When you're done watching this video, you can fire up your client, you can go draft some packs. I can't even go down to my local game store and get packs right now. That is awesome. And for all the problems that Magic Online has, I'm super glad that we no longer have to wait weeks and weeks after a set release to draft cards online anymore. Speaking of Magic Online problems, WotC made a little bit of a whoopsie last week when they released Hour of Devastation cards into treasure chest prize packs. Unable to recall the cards or even unable to switch standards so that you couldn't play the cards in tournaments, people played all weekend with Hour of Devastation cards if they were lucky enough to open them. If this ever happens to you in the future, and with Magic Online you really never know, be sure to sell your cards immediately. Cards never gonna have more value than that moment when you're the only kid on the digital schoolyard with a copy for sale. Now, Hour of Devastation is a below average set value-wise, but people are still gonna want those chase cards. So if you're an intermittent drafter, you only do it once in a while, now is the time to load up that client, get in those queues, just make sure you sell what you open right away. By the same token, standard players need to be really disciplined over the next week. There are going to be some cards that the pros are going to discover and they're going to surge in value online, but everything else is going to drop. So unless you really think you're onto a hidden gem, just stay away from all Hour of Devastation singles for the next couple of days. It's time for Gaining Ground, the weekly segment where we discuss the card that gained the most value this week in both Standard and Modern. And in Standard, our Gaining Ground title belongs to Torrential Gearhulk, which went from 21 tickets up to about 24. The reason for this, of course, is that Hour of Devastation looks like it's going to give a bunch of new goodies to both Blue-Red Control and Grixis Control. Those are the decks that everyone wants to build heading into the new format. Another card that's gone up in price due to this is Kozilek's Return, which gained about 2.5 tickets this week as well. Now in Modern, we had a runaway winner. That's Horizon Canopy, which went 14 tickets, all the way up to 59. In Paper Magic, Horizon Canopy is now the most expensive card in the format. In Magic Online, it's only fourth most. So why is Horizon Canopy so expensive? Well, mostly this is a supply side issue. It's a card that was only printed in Future Sight, so there just aren't that many of them out there. That's not the whole story though. Ramunap Excavator, a new card from Hour of Devastation, looks poised to make waves in both Legacy and Modern. And if Ramunap Excavator finds a home, Horizon Canopy is probably not too far behind. The final piece of the puzzle is that Horizon Canopy is a staple in Legacy Lands, a deck that's gained a bunch of heat lately thanks to the Hour of Devastation card Mirage Mirror. If Legacy Lands does end up taking on a larger role in the metagame, Horizon Canopy may actually not be done growing in price. Now it's time for the biggest loser, the segment where we discuss the card that's dropped the most this week in both Modern and Standard. Standard, it was a runaway victory for Nissa Voice of Zendikar, which dropped from 16 tickets all the way down to about 10. Now Nissa still is a Standard staple. It's a 3 of or a 4 of in green-black energy, which as of right now is a tier 2 deck in the format. But as people move toward these exciting new blue and red based control decks and Hour of Devastation is released, black-green energy has just become less popular. We'll have to see what happens once the format adjusts to the new cards. Now in Modern, the biggest loser was actually Surgical Extraction, a card that spent a good part of the spring surging in value. It dropped from 33 tickets this week down to just 26. Now what could have happened here? Let me do a Google image search. Let's see. Oh god, no. Don't Google image search Surgical Extraction. Let me get back to you in just a moment. Okay, so in Paper Magic, Surgical Extraction actually hasn't dropped in price. And online, the value seems to have stabilized over the past couple of days. So I think this is one of those metagame fluctuation issues. It's still an important sideboard card in Eldrazi-tron, and Grixis Shadow, and a couple of the format's other best decks. If you've been looking to buy in for a while, I think now might be the lowest it'll be for at least the next couple of weeks. I got my good friend Coraline here, which means it's time for the Sneak of the Week. And the Sneak of the Week this week is Supreme Verdict. Back in June it was about 2 tickets, now it's up to 7. and that's because it shows up in a couple of modern decks on the rise, both Jeskai and Blue-White Control. I don't know what the long-term ceiling is on this card. Return to Ravnica cards tend to have a fairly low ceiling, but I do think it could hit 10 or 12 tickets at least in the short term. I'm going to end the week by taking a look at the MTGO Traders hot list. These are the cards that MTGO traders are paying a little bit extra for, and you can find it at mtgotraders.com/hotlist. This week I want to take a look at booster packs. Hour of Devastation is here. We all need some money to play the latest set. Might be a good time to trade in those boosters that you're not going to be drafting with. I'm liking the prices on the Masters sets. If you've got any original Modern Masters 2013 kicking around, MTGO traders will give you 13 ticks a pack. Vintage Masters, you'll get 9. Eternal Masters, you'll get 5. And the 2 more recent Modern Masters sets, a little over 6 tickets each. Also on the hot list this week, tournament packs. Yeah, really. It's these like big old cardboard 3 rare sealed decky things they used to sell. I didn't even know they sold them online, but they did. And MTGO traders is buying them. Onslaught, Odyssey, Champions of Kamigawa, Tempest, all generally between 9 and 18 tickets a piece. You can get a whole draft for that. That's all I got for this week. Don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more high quality Magic the Gathering content. See you next time.